Hello champions, welcome to another interesting topic on social studies. Ensure that your pen and notebook are with you so that you can jot down important points as we explore this great topic. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the lesson. In today's lesson, we are going to study the topic leadership. Lesson objectives. By the end of the lesson, you should be able to define leadership. 2. Define followership. 3. List the qualities of a good leader and follower. And 4. State the types of leadership and followership. 5. State the consequences of bad leadership. And finally, state the responsibilities of good leadership and followership. Definition of leadership. 1. A leader is the person who has been appointed or elected to lead the people to achieve a task. 2. A leader is also a person who influences others to achieve a task of common interest. 3. A leader is a person who manages the followers to achieve a common goal. For example, the head boy or head girl is the leader of the students, also class captains. In UPSS, we have president, vice president, ministers as student leaders. Definition of followership. A follower is a person who submits himself or herself to the directives of the leader. He is under the control and influence of the leader. Example, students who have not been appointed or elected into any position. Then let's look at qualities of good leadership and followership. 1. Discipline. This means self-control. A good leader will lead by example. 2. Honesty. This means to be truthful and trustworthy. A good leader and follower should not tell lie, but speaks the truth always. Then let's look at the third one. Punctuality. This means to be time conscious. A good leader and follower go to school, office, events, or meeting on time. They are always on time. 4. Responsibility. This means knowing what to do and doing it without wasting time. A good leader and follower must be responsible. Then 5th, we have obedience. This means to be law-abiding. A good leader and follower must be obedient and respect the constituted authority. Then we also have confidence. It means to be courageous and fearless. It means to have positive thinking and be optimistic in the discharge of his responsibilities. A good leader must be confident. 7. We have patience. Ability to tolerate and forbear things. Ability to forgive and forget wrong deeds. A good leader and follower must be very patient. Then we have attentive. It means having a good listening attitude, readiness to hear and listen attentively to the follower's complaints. A good leader must be attentive. A good follower must also be attentive to the instructions from the leader. A good leader listens more and talks less. Next is God-fearing. A good leader and follower should have the fear of God. Then let's look at the types of leadership and followership. 1. Student leadership and followership. Example, head boy, head girl, etc. 2. Political leadership and followership. We have governors, presidents, ministers, commissioners, etc. 3. Traditional leadership and followership. Example, Oba of Benin, Emir of Kano, and so on. 4. Spiritual leadership and followership. We have bishops, popes, pastors, reverend fathers, apostles, etc. We have community leadership and followership. Example, youth leaders, women leaders, and so on. And finally, we have family leadership and followership. Example, father is the head and leader of the family. The next subtopic is consequences of bad leadership. 1. Economic hardship. Bad leadership will result to inflation. That is persistent rise in the cost of goods and services. 2. Poverty. More than 20% of the world's population lives in poverty. Poverty is a situation in which people have little or no money for the things of life. That is inability to satisfy one's basic needs of food, clothing, and shelter. And this is as a result of bad leadership, not being able to provide and satisfy the needs of the people. Then we have civil unrest. Bad leadership leads to people taking laws into their hands by embarking on protests, demonstrations, example, EndSARS strike, and so on. 4. Corruption and indiscipline. Corruption is a dishonest or illegal behavior, especially of people in authority, as they use their power in order to get an advantage for themselves. Bad leadership leads to looting of funds and wealth, misappropriation of public funds, bribery, embezzlement, money laundering, abuse of power or office, looting of public funds, impersonation, fraud, and so on. Next, we have waste of resources. Natural and man-made resources will not be used efficiently by the leader. Then we have finally sanction. International community and organizations such as ECOWAS, African Union, United Nations, etc. may expel the nation from being a member due to bad leadership of such a country. 7. Anarchy. This means breakdown of law and order. When there is bad leadership, anarchy increases, which will result in increase in crimes, example, kidnapping, armed robbery, banditry, terrorism, cyber crimes, killings, community crises, and so on. All these are as a result of bad leadership. Then responsibilities of good leadership and followership. 1. Cooperation. Both the leader and follower must be ready to work as partners in order to achieve their goal. 2. Communicate. The leader and follower must be able to speak and dialogue frequently on the tasks at hand and ahead. Occasionally, call meetings or organize meetings with the followers and give feedback on what has been achieved or done. 3. We have strategize and plan. They should set goals and plan on how to achieve these goals. 4. Support or unity. Both the leadership and follower must unite and work in harmony in order to achieve their goal. And finally, we have results-oriented. The leader and follower must work together as a team and be focused in order to achieve their goal. Hope you have enjoyed the class. Thanks for watching. See you in the next class. Goodbye for now.